Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Grand Slam Journey podcast, where typically I, together with my guests, discuss various topics related to finding our passion and purpose, maximizing our potential, sports, life after sports, and transitioning from one chapter of our lives to the next, growing our leadership in whatever we decide to put our minds into. For me personally, areas of business and technology. Today, I have some announcements and I wanted to share some more thoughts and insights about a few things that have happened in the past month or so. On the announcements, if you've been listening to my podcast, you may have heard I've created a partnership with Noble Hormetics. While this is the first partnership for Grand Slam Journey podcast, it is certainly not my first in my business realm. And when creating large business opportunities and driving some big corporate partnerships, I typically look for a few things. Number one, the attitude of the people that I work with, their character. And number two is the competitive edge, or how does the product help create something unique for the enterprise or consumer. Obviously depends what the business is. I found that Noble Hormetics is a great fit for Grand Slam Journey for a few reasons. Going to the first point, attitude. Tyler, the CEO, seemed to be a solid person. He's been working on improving people's lives using hormetic stress for a while. It started with him creating his own cold plunge some amount of years back. He now found a way how to get this into mass production and is working on creating a company that is still in an early stage to get this product into mass market. I believe the technology is there. The reason why I decided to go with Noble Sisu Cold Plunge is that based on my research, this is the best product you can buy for your money. One of the key differentiators that I find for this product is the cold chiller. And Noble Sisu Cold Plunge has probably the best cold chiller in the market. And so you get a fantastic product for half of the price of some of the other cold plunges out there. That is obviously an important thing, at least for me. I love splurging on things that make my life better, and at the same time, I want to ensure that I'm getting the value for my money. And so based on the research I conducted, Noble Hormetics is a product that has great price for the value that is delivering. Another reason why I decided to go with Noble Hormetics is that it is a portable, inflatable plunge. I've put a lot of thought into whether I want one of the inflatable cold plunges or the permanent ones, and I came up to the conclusion that the inflatable cold plunge would be a better fit for me for a few reasons. Number one, I move quite a bit, and so if I ever need to move the cold plunge, it's probably way easier to empty out the water, pack it in a bag, and you could literally take it with you. In fact, this product is designed in such a way that if you were a serious athlete, you could literally take it with you to your tournaments or meets. Additional reason for why I decided to go with it is that I thought that, especially given the weather in Texas, the inflatable cold plunge might be actually better to help insulate and keep the temperature cold instead of the cold plunges that are just made from metal. I thought that the air will actually help insulate it, and so the water inside may be less prone to heating up. So I'm really excited to try this product. Note, I haven't tested it out yet. It is ordered and I should receive it in a few weeks. Once I receive it, I will do another podcast to give you a deeper review and work on creating a manual on how I inserted it into my daily life. One last thing I wanted to mention on the cold plunge. If you're someone who's never done a real cold water immersion, and I think there is quite a bit of difference between cold showers versus full cold water immersion. I've done the cold showers before. frankly, they don't really work that well for me. After a few days, they just become a normal cold shower, and I don't get the same effects as when I'm fully immersed in the cold water. And so I also find this feeling is very, very personal, and it's really hard to describe. And so I really want to invite you, if that is something you're thinking about or exploring, it is something that you have to test out and check out for yourself. And so if you have someone who may have a cold plunge, or there's probably a number of spas around now that may have cold plunge, as cold plunging has become a big trend. It is becoming more and more accessible in many different spas or spa-like places. You may be able to find one close by. And so I highly suggest you to check it out for yourself and try it out for yourself. One last thing on why I believe cold plunging is a great thing is not just because of recovery, but it is to add something to your day that will allow you to push through your limits. I think there's nothing pleasant about jumping in a cold plunge. The most pleasant thing you get is how you feel after. Eventually, it's the same like working out. There's very few people who actually enjoy the act of working out. Most of it is really hard work. After many years, you actually get addicted to the hard work, and so you may end up enjoying it. I wonder if it might be the same thing with the cold plunge. But what I'm trying to say is, cold plunge isn't here to make you feel pleasant. The purpose for the cold plunge is to help create hormetic stress. Based on scientific research and journals on aging, hormetic stress is the ideal level of exposure to stress. Hormetic stress could help boost your body's functioning and help you build tolerance to greater stress. Underexposure to stress could actually leave your body unchallenged, while overexposure could lead to health problems. Hormetic stress is the sweet spot where stress could be beneficial. And so adding this to your daily routine could actually help position you to be effective, productive, and may help you to better handle the challenges that your day or week may bring. Second topic I wanted to discuss is my move to Austin. If you're someone who's been following me for a while, you may know that I've decided to move from the San Francisco Bay Area to Austin, Texas. Back to Texas, yes. It seems like I'm making a full circle. I started my American journey in Dallas, Texas, almost 2 decades ago. I've then lived in the Bay Area, Southern California, New Jersey, back to the Bay, and now down to Austin. In my life, I have moved a bit, and reflecting on the past, I try to lie to myself that I enjoy moving. The fact is that moving is awful. I would think almost no one, or close to no one, actually enjoys the act of the move itself. It is always a chaotic time, full of packing and unpacking and organizing and throwing stuff away and cleaning your life and figuring out where you're going to live. Anyways, it's quite stressful. The benefit of moving often is that, like anything else, you end up being better at it. And so it is a skill that you continue to practice. I want to believe that I've gotten way better at moving. But still, moving is something that is definitely stressful for me. At the same time, once you go through it and you get settled in, there's this great feeling of creating new routines, meeting new people, and an opportunity to almost create a new life for yourself, a fresh start. That is the most exciting feeling of them all. And so I'm super happy to be settled in Austin, back in Texas, and exploring all that this area has to offer. So far, it has been great, super hot, which helps me get into shape. If you're following me on Instagram, You may have seen some of my videos that some of my friends found very entertaining. Anyways, I think the cold plunge that we talked about previously will be the perfect complement for the hot Texas summer and as an addition to my recovery routine. But back to Austin. If you're exploring moving to Austin, please feel free to ping me. Happy to share what I have found so far. I can provide you with some great tips for realtor as well as mortgage person. Thanks Kim and Matthew for helping us going through the process. If you're someone who's thinking about moving to Austin and want to check out what the real estate looks like here and get an idea on your financing and what you can afford and looking for someone who's reliable and knows the area, feel free to contact me and I can send you my referrals to Kim and Matthew, who's guided us through the process. One more thing as I'm reflecting on this move to Austin and its relation to our episode that we recorded with Anna and Dana, episode number 37, Conquering the Uncomfortable. I have to admit that moving has been probably the most uncomfortable thing for me I've ever done. There's many things that I'm willing to dive into, such as jumping from an airplane, scuba diving. All of these thrilling activities are so much fun for me. But move is very close to touching on my fear of homelessness. And so it's been a real struggle and something I've really had to embrace. As I mentioned, I'm getting better at it. But if you're someone who's stuck in a place and is worried to move just because you don't know where to start, I want to encourage you to dig deep and see whether that fear is justified or if it's unjustified. Is the fear there to protect you, or is the fear preventing you from stepping into new opportunities, stepping out of your comfort zone and creating something new for yourself? As a relation to that, I've often found that the people in the Bay Area have a very strong feelings about the Bay Area itself, which really is just another Bay Area. It's an area with, somewhat nice weather that people like to say, although it's full of fires and smoke in the summer. It's super overpriced. You can barely afford a house, and you pay high level of taxes with huge amount of homelessness. And what are you getting in return? I think the way people justify the high cost of living is that they pay the premium weather tax. But other than that, I'm really not sure I'm gonna miss the Bay Area. I think I miss the people and the friends that I've created. And I hope, as with any other place, the best friends will always come visit and will stay around. The people that you really create strong bond and relationship with will always be there, no matter the location you live in or no matter the time zone differences that is between the two of you. And so traveling around and moving around has actually allowed me to create a world of friends. Many of my friends, same as my podcast guests, come from different places, different countries, and different cities. And so I strongly believe that it's not a place, but the world is our home. It all depends on what you decide to create, and it all depends on the mindset and attitude that we hold. If we believe we're gonna find something great, I trust you'll find it. If you believe you're gonna find something bad, I trust you find that too. Lastly, I want to give you a little bit of peek into what's ahead. I've been really grateful and had a large amount of enthusiasm and opportunities coming my way for fun podcast interviews. And so I have a strong lineup of guest speakers over the period of the next 2-3 months. I look forward to bringing you fun new conversations ahead. That was it for my quick updates, announcements, thoughts, and food for thought. Thank you for listening, and I'll be back next week. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, I want to ask you to please do 2 things. 1, please share this episode with someone you believe may enjoy it as well. And 2, consider leaving a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other podcasting platform that allows you to submit a feedback. It will help me greatly.